Hello guys, Omni here. We are back with Supergirl this week, which has returned from its little hiatus once again. So if you haven't seen last night's episode, be sure to tune out and come back once you have. But honestly, there isn't a whole lot to talk about here. This episode was okay. It wasn't fantastic. The action wasn't all that great. The effects not too good as for par for the course at this point. But all the hearts there. We're getting a little bit of the furthering the plot, and this is again something I've commented on before, that I think a lot of this kind of issues with the writing could be resolved if they had fewer episodes to work with and that the seasons were a little bit tighter. Because really, the main plot of this episode focuses around a scorned wife of a alien who was residing on Earth, who was part of the test project for Obsidian. They got addicted to the virtual reality life and something happened, blah, 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 they died. The wife blames it on Obsidian and the addiction that their husband had with that virtual reality life, that they want to prevent that from happening to anybody else, which is a valid concern. It is very much a real world concern with video games and virtual reality as it is in our world. And I just don't think they tackled it all that well, because there's so much else going around that really is the bits of the information in this episode that I felt like were the more important threads. Of course, the furthering of Non-Nucere with Lex and Lena, him allowing her access to this secret prison of willing prisoners that they have access to for her to test on humanely. There is Willie Garrison shows up, who is, he shows up in a lot of different TV shows. I know him from like multiple episodes of X-Files. So he pops up in this as an inmate who is being bullied by and harassed by one of these bigger, more aggressive dudes in there. And so the experiment goes, she's implants him with the Obsidian tech and uploads the algorithm to try to, influence their emotions. And she gets the mean dude to be nice. And somehow that counterbalances with the nice guy who was getting bullied and makes him want revenge and violence. So again, by the end of it, she talks through some things, has some self-doubt. Lex does his thing, and she manages to solve it by the end of the episode. So we're getting closer to that actually being fully realized, and I feel like Lex is going to be the one that is furthering that for his own benefit towards the end. I know he did the truth thing, I know he did the whatever, but there's something else going on. Because his main goal is to, I think, get in close with the Leviathan and then take over whatever power or whatever they have, because that is the main thing. He hires Supergirl because he's got that leverage on her identity to force her to be Andrea's bodyguard throughout this episode to protect her from this would-be assassin. And that whole thing pans out. We got Brainy, of course, which is the most compelling parts of this season after Crisis, has been how Jesse Rath has been playing this character, and Brainy's just pure conflict of interest with wanting to ensure that everybody survives, that the future has the outcome that they want, while also struggling with the fact that he's lying and betraying his friends by doing so by serving Lex, and Lex is manipulating Brainy in all these ways, keeping secrets from him and all this stuff, and even consults with the other versions of himself that we saw in the Return from Crisis that are stored up in the big brain. He meets with them. Are you sure? To get like reassurance that siding with Lex is the only thing they can do. And it just, I don't know. It's just like, that's the most compelling bits of this season so far, is that dynamic, that iteration there between those two, that dynamic going on with Lex and the conflict with Brainy. And Jesse Rath plays it so well. And that's what I love in this, for sure. Not a whole lot else gets furthered in this episode. Lex, of course, by making that deal to offer up Supergirl to Gemma, to kind of further negotiate their partnership between Leviathan and LexCorp, pays off in the end. And, they work closer and closer. He gets tighter with Gemma so that his, basically she's like, okay, you're doing all this stuff for us. There's got to be something you want out of it. And he's like, I want to meet your friends. And she's like, if you pay off on this next one, if you if you win us big in this next, whatever our next assignment is, so probably the next episode or something like that, then we'll see. We'll reward that. So he's getting in close. He's trying to get in and infiltrate Leviathan. So I don't know. Lex is playing everybody, and that's where it's going to come down to. I feel like he's definitely playing Brainy. He's playing Lena. He's playing everybody, and he's the one character in this show that can definitely do that. The only other thing that I knew about this episode going into it, because I always have to watch these the day after because of work and stuff like that. So I saw on Twitter a lot of people were upset about William being forced back into Kara's life with his toxicity. Which I understand. He did kind of overstep some boundaries, so I do see that point. I'm not trying to downplay that at all. And their relationship, yes, it is forced. It is not elegantly handled, but honestly, I don't care. I don't care who Kara dates. I just want a good story, and I want this to get to a head. It's another thing, like with these seasons, and this isn't just Supergirl. This is with, Batwoman, Flash, Black Lightning. Black Lightning doesn't really have this problem as much because it's got shorter seasons than the other shows, but Arrow even was that they have these huge episode orders and they have to draw out these plot lines for so long because they have to fill out these episodes. So a lot of episodes just don't feel like we're moving anything, progressing anything forward enough. And that's how I've been feeling with a lot of these episodes here recently. It's just like we're not really making a whole lot of headway on a lot of fronts. But I don't know. We'll see how this all pans out. I want to see what the payoff is going to be at the end of the episode, at the end of the season for this. Alex had an interesting arc in this because where she's left the DEO, she doesn't really feel like she has the qualities to bring to the team that she once had with her power behind the DEO, with her power with the badge and the team that she controlled there. So she struggled with that in this episode. And honestly, I think next to the Jesse Rath stuff with Brainy, I think that was the most interesting stuff in this because she's starting to pair up with John and do some PI work with him. But when she left the DEO, they took her gun, her badge, all that kind of stuff. So she doesn't really know how to do. She's just dealing with herself. At the end of the episode, John gives her this alien tech bracelet thing, which can become any weapon that she imagines in her mind, almost like a Green Lantern ring, if you want to think about it, but definitely has to be way less powerful. But I'm curious to see what they do with that. At least it gives her something in a way to actively help the team progress. So we'll see how that pans out in the near future. But yeah, who knows? There's a lot of fun they can have with that, assuming that the budget allows for it. But I definitely see that defaulting to like knives and guns and nothing like spectacular or anything like that. But we'll have to see. Overall, harmless episode. I know a lot of people were upset about it, mostly about the relationship thing. But I like I said, I don't care. Just give me a good plot, good story, and good action, and I'll be happy. But that being said, that's it. That's all I got, really. What'd you guys think of the episode? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys thought. We'll carry on that conversation after the video. And we'll catch you guys next week with the next episode. As always, if you appreciate the video, and I appreciate you guys for watching it, support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode of Supergirl. Take care, everybody.